It's not too important. What I'm about to tell you, it's extremely important. I'm one of the first people to get a Neuralink implant in my skull. If you guys can see and don't really know what a Neuralink is, it's kind of like an electronic chip from Elon Musk embedded in your skull. At first it was kind of like a Fitbit, kept track of vital signs, stuff that was going on in my body. Eventually it's gotten to a point where I can move a mouse without even touching a computer. I can connect, I can download, I can transfer information. I'm not the only person that has one of these now, and now we can communicate. This is what's going to happen for the rest of the world. Eventually, this technology will be, maybe not in you, your kids, your grandkids. This is what's coming next. Welcome to the year 2025. Have fun.
Shalom.
To get
First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Shimei Shai by Shimmer Kakadash. So all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh,
Neuralink is.
by Hashem in the name, and Yahweh Shai be the
Don't
name
really know what a
of the only begotten Son. I also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the whole elect, preaching this word in truth and sincerity. And our brother Tazabah, the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will with another video to edify. And I'm going to title this one, You Chose Your God, the MOTB. And when you hear this dude talk, and I think this dude is an Edomite regardless. When you hear this dude talking, there's going to be many niggas that think the same way though. But when you hear this dude talk, he thinks there could be nothing ill comes off of this. He thinks that Esau's doing the best, most sensible thing. He believes this is a step forward. And that this dude has probably heard about you know what? He has heard. The whole world's heard at this point. All right? But certain people are going to be deceived to be like, you know what? Maybe it's not that bad. But when he made that choice to get that shit, he was only thinking about his flesh. He wasn't thinking about what he would have to pay for that with the Lord. All right? But you've chosen your God. There's a reason why when you go into the Old Testament, right? This is Deuteronomy 15. Yeah. Deuteronomy 15 and start at 12. It says, and if thy brother, an Hebrew man or an Hebrew woman, be sold unto thee, and serve thee 6 years, then in the seventh year thou shalt let him go free from thee. And that's what we come down to. We're coming down to the year of release. But for you to get released in this time, for you to be released in this time, you're gonna have to do it unto death. All of us will have to make the choice, even in the face of death, whether or not we want to be free with the Lord or be in bondage to this world under this devil. Right? It says, and when thou sendest him out free from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty. Right? Thou shalt furnish him liberally out of thy flock and out of thy floor and out of thy winepress, and that wherewith Yahweh thy power had blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him. Right? And when we come out of this place, we're not taking anything out of this kingdom into the next, but we will be coming into substance. The Lord got something laid up for us, man. He said he's going to give us the heathen for our inheritance. Everything that these heathen have stolen from us, they're going to have to restore. So we're going to come out with inheritance. Now, verse 15, and thou shalt remember that thou was a bondman in the land of Egypt, uh, in thy power redeem thee. Therefore I command thee this thing today. And it shall be, if he say unto thee, I will go away. It says, I will not go away from thee, because he loveth thee and thine house, because he is well with thee. And that's how Jake is. This is how a lot of people are. They think they good with Esau. This is why this nigga was willing to sit here and let this devil put this experimental shit in his head, cut his skull open. That's an immense amount of trust, right? All right, verse 17. Then it says, then thou shalt take an awl and thrust it through his ear unto the door, and he shall be thy servant forever. And also unto thy maidservant thou shalt do likewise. So everybody's gonna have a choice in these last days, right? And you're gonna have to choose who you're gonna serve. What are the guys on this side of the flood who our fathers served? You're going to be a slave forever. You're going to be a perpetual slave. You're going to let this devil rule over you. Put technology in your head so he can sit here and tell you how much you can eat, how much you can't eat. Play with your brain waves. Right? And these niggas ain't even think. Right? Right now, it might be all good and dandy. Right now, you might be getting all the benefits of the C-hip. But wait till they really turn on those 5 gigahertz, right? Those 5G forces, right? In them cell towers. Wait till they turn on, the 6. China just came out with a 6G G force in their cell towers. Wait till they bring them satellite dishes even closer to the Earth like they plan to do. We're gonna see how those wavelengths shorten up and what it's going to spell for the average person. And the scriptures talk about those things, right? But a spiritual man, you got to extrapolate that and understand. This is Jeremiah 17, right? So this dude picked who he wanted to have his God. And it wasn't the Lord at the end of the day. He believed in this devil, so that's what he went for. Isaiah or Jeremiah, is it Jeremiah? Jeremiah 17, so like, yeah. Jeremiah 17 and 5. Thus say Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from Yahweh. And this dude and a lot of Jake, they gonna trust in this devil. They gonna take whatever he has to offer, because in their mind, he's their God. They trust in man. They haven't leaned on the Lord. They fully departed from the Heavenly Father. It says, verse 6, it says, and he shall be like the heath in the desert. Right? Like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in the salt seas. In the salt, it says, in a salt land, and not inhabited. And when you go to a salt land, right, you got natural places where salt water just naturally accumulated and the land's barren. There's even places where if wildlife touches down, right, it's so acidic, it dries them out on impact, and they just get stuck. They can't move to the point where the salt actually pulls all the moisture out of their body, and they're just like a little hollowed out corpse. That's what it's like trusting in this devil. Isaiah 36. Isaiah 36 and 6 says, lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust him. And that's what it's like. And you telling me that your best bet was to have this devil put a chip in you? And you think it's all going to be on the up and up with this experimental shit? I mean, you just saw them shut the entire world down to get to get Boost Mobile, arm tickets in their arm during COVID. You just saw everybody do that. And all the shit that came off of that. But you went a step further and you said, you know what, cut a piece of my skull out. Leave that computer chip up in there. And let's see what it do. These people don't think. And ultimately, the Lord ain't dealing with them. The Lord don't like them. The Lord ain't like him. This dude got he got a one-way ticket on the tip of a missile. A one-way ticket. And all it took was some stupidity and a microchip. This is Romans 8 and 6. It says, for to be carnally minded is death. And that's what that dude was. He didn't think about the spirit. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High. For it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then, they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. And that dude's in his flesh. And a lot of other people are going to take that same route, thinking that they're going to have all this and that. They desensitizing the people to the shit already. Niggas are really going to get ready to sit here and line up in droves. Though the prophets has been sent out by the Spirit and power of the Lord to tell you not to trust this devil, there's plenty of people that are going to sit here and do exactly that. Trust this devil. Right? Because they're carnally minded. They're not thinking about the spirit. They just want the newest, biggest thing. Isaiah 8. Isaiah 8 and 19. It says, and when they shall say unto thee, seek unto them that has familiar spirits. And this is the problem. Right? Jake is choosing this over coming to the Lord for God. Seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter. Should not a people seek unto their power for the living unto the dead? You see? Should not a people seek unto their power for the living unto the dead, man? You're supposed to sit here and seek to the Lord for whatever help. Now, what did this dude need it for? That he had to get that shit in his head. That he felt like he had to get it in his head. The scriptures talk about they're going to deceive the simple, right? By the means of those miracles. There's plenty of people that just want out of whatever position the Lord put you in the first place. And you're going to make stupid ass decisions like this. But we know this. You're supposed to seek to the Lord. Not to these warlocks and witches. That's what a lot of people in the academia world, there's a bunch of warlocks and witches. Freemasons, even in the science community, man. Revelation 13 and 16, because at the end of the day, this is the judgment. It says, I'll get right to the point. Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And the dude said in that video that what? This is where the world is going. And he's right. Under this devil's rulership, that's where the world's going. But we know damn well that if you get that, if you want to take that route, there's a judgment. Now, just so people know, because we've gone into it, when you go to Revelation 13 and 16, if you think this is just some tattoo they put on people and everything, like, it's not just a tattoo. It's just something this devil's going to put inside you. When you look at that word mark, it's the word charagma in the Greek. Now, John compared these things to things he knew in his time. John he understood the language of the day. He knew what he was speaking. The Spirit gave him the exact words to say. And we have to look into those things. Like it says in the prologue for Sirach, the same things uttered in Hebrew, spoken in another tongue, hold not the same force. You got to go back to the source of what these things meant. Now, when you go to that word charagma, what does it say? The definition right there, it says a stamp and imprinted mark on a mark stamped on the forehead of the right hand of the bond of the Antichrist. There's many Antichrists. There's not just one. If you go against the Lord, you're anti-Messiah. It says the mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. So graven work, when they put that thing in you, they're cutting into you. They're etching into your skin. Now you go to this is a compound word. Charagma is a compound word. When you go to that root word, it's charax. And what does that word charax mean? It says to sharpen to a point aching through the idea of scratching. It says a pale or stake, a palisade. When you look up a palisade, think about, and you can Google it. I encourage you, Google it. Palisade is actually like a pointed wood, right? Something that you sharpen to a point on wood. And when you look at the C-hip and the popular delivery method, not just the brain chip, right, but also the one they put in your hand. The delivery method they use is that big ass gauge needle. So John the Revelator was seeing this. He was just comparing what he saw to what he knew, and he used phrases for his time, for now, for what he saw, for things that are happening now. So when he saw people getting shot up with those needles, and he was like, "What the fuck is that?" What the, he was describing these things. Now there's one more root word for that word, charax, and it's grapho, right? And it says, and I'm gonna just get to the point on this, right? This goes into the technology portion of it. It says to write with reference to the contents of writing, to express in written characters, to commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down, record. And that's what that whole blockchain technology is about. It's keeping a near perfect record. That's a record. Right? So back in Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And what are they tying this whole system into? They're going to tie it into buying and selling. Identification. This all goes into it, man. He said before it was basically just to keep vital signs. Now he's able to move a mouse. Those are those lying wonders. He believes that this thing is the bee's knees. Well, when you go into scriptures, and they say right here, Revelation 14 and 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, right? If you want to take that mark and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, you want to take that, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into a cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Meaning what? You're going to be in that lake of fire. You're going to be in the destruction of Babylon the Great. You have no hope of salvation at that point. You better hope you're an Israelite so you can get reborn through the nutsack of an Israelite male in the kingdom of heaven, because on earth is where that kingdom's going to be. The scriptures talk about us having kids in the kingdom of heaven. Right? Those kids we're going to be having is the niggas on this side that don't make it, which is poured out without mixture into a cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. You see, if you want to take that, you're going to be in a bad case. The scriptures talk about people getting swords. Now, he ain't had that scenario yet. About those grievous swords. Yeah, Revelation 16 and 12. And 1, it says, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your way, pour out your vials of wrath, pour out the vials of wrath of the Most High upon the earth. And the first one went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome and grievous sword upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them that were worshipped the image. Right? So people are going to be getting cancers, right, off of this. You're talking about constantly radiating your body when they turn up these frequencies through these new sources of whatchamacallit, satellites. You know, these fifth G waves, right? 6G communications, all that. We're gonna see what it does, man. It's gonna cause cancer. This dude don't know what he in, man, and a lot of Jake is gonna take this route, but we know that you're not supposed to take it, man. The warning is enough. If you don't take the warning about the result of it, that's on you. The Lord willing, this is out of Father, I'm gonna say, call Allah, Yahweh Shemar Shah, Shemar Crocodile Shalom.